Hollow Knight Silksong received universal acclaim from pretty much everyone who played it. I myself haven't played it, but I have played the first Hollow Knight, and I absolutely loved it. And I'm replaying it again in preparation of Silksong. This person begs to differ, however. Playing a garbage indie game instead of Ghost of Yote is embarrassing for a professional game journalist. No, that's not embarrassing at all. That's what game journalists should do. Ghost of Yote is not out yet, but Silksong is, so as a journalist, it is his obligation to play a game that just came out in full to inform people about it, rather than play a game that hasn't even come out yet, and people can't judge whether the journalist is telling the truth or just smoking reefer. I'm just saying, as a game journalist, AAA games should always be your main priority, not garbage indie games that look like it can run on your phone. Okay, FOMO Dumbo corporate bootlicker, the game being garbage is your subjective point of view. It's not your opinion that I care about, it's what you do with it. Because you personally think a game is garbage, it shouldn't be covered by game journalists? What kind of logic is that? What makes you the authority on what gaming journalists can say or not? Also, being able to run the game on the phone is actually a compliment. Have you seen the performance issues of Borderlands 4? Randy Pitchford is absolutely melting down over people complaining about it. Metal Gear Solid Delta on the PlayStation 5 especially. It ran like ass. If your games cannot run on the latest video game console, I'd rather go back and play Microsoft Solitaire on my phone, thank you very much. I would rather games be able to run really well on portable systems than games that run like crap on modern systems. Hollow Knight Silksong was released on Switch and Switch 2. It was also tested on the Switch emulator Renewable. I don't know why you would need the game to be tested there because the PC version is not only out, but it's also available on the Cs. But hey, someone should still develop these emulators to perfection, even if the games are out on other platforms. We just pirate Nintendo games. No, we don't. Pirates will pirate everything that they can reasonably pirate, so I don't know who says that to you. It's for preservation! Actually, yes, this is still true. Forget the Switch copy of Silksong. The PC version of Silksong is preserved forever thanks to piracy. Now you can install that game on any computer in the future. Like I said before, pirates need to preserve the media so that they can get their media for free. Preservation of media usually involves removing the DRMs. Piracy is for preservation. That's how they got their media for free to begin with. Games are too expensive. This is also still true. I don't know what you're trying to refute by saying this. That said, Hollow Knight and Silksong are dirt cheap, and that is criminal. All lies. I only count one of them being a lie, and even then, I don't know where you get that notion from. There are people bringing the tired excuse of their country's currency not holding enough value to make buying games feasible. God forbid people live in countries with horrible economy, right? It's not like they can just leave. Either don't play or just accept the fact that you're stealing instead of trying to morally justify things. That implies that piracy is stealing, which even if I agree that it is stealing, I don't have to morally justify that to random people online. This is what bothers me, the moral high ground they always take. Nah, we pirates are not moral arbiters in this situation. You can decide whatever morality you like, we're still gonna pirate games anyway. The topic of piracy is still something that is morally dubious to certain people, but there is one more group of people who will police you with their brands of personal morality. This is an account called Sex Industry Research. They are here to push their anti-porn agenda, and they are currently complaining that there are people on Twitter X who are angry that their colleagues at Collective Shout? The same people that are responsible with the banning of hundreds of video games where you screw your mom without her consent and many other games that involve the characters getting literally pissed on? You successfully campaigned to get games banned, and you wonder why people are angry at you. Those games, while incredibly filthy and disgusting, to the average people at least, are still fictional content that do not harm anyone and could have died in obscurity if you just not pay attention to them. Censored rape and incest simulations simulations that make boys and men dehumanize girls and women, leading to more male violence against women. This is a chart showing research discussing problematic sexual behaviors, or PSBs, for adolescents, in which there's 1.82 times more chance for PSBs if you're exposed to porn, and 2.52 times more chance for PSBs if you're exposed to violent or live sexual content. This research is for adolescents, not adults. The adult data is the same. Porn promotes sexual violence. There is no adult data at all. You just showed data about children and extrapolated that adults think the same way. You unironically think that adults are children, and you wonder why people are mad at you. It's ironic that an account called Sex Industry Research is not very good at reading research. Another culprit that really doesn't help making gaming better is the payment processors like MasterCard or Visa. This is a LinkedIn post in which the director of global gaming partnerships of Visa said that he wants people to join his global gaming initiative of some sort. The post has since been deleted, but screenshots are available, so let's clown on this stupidity. At Visa, our mission is to uplift everyone, everywhere, by being the best way to pay and be paid. That is, unless you develop adult games or games with themes that we don't like. In which case, we'll take all the money that you haven't been paid for, because screw you, right? If you're passionate about gaming, inspired by culture, and ready to make an impact on a global stage, we want you on our team. Oh, you are making an impact on a global stage, alright? A negative impact to not just games, but media consumption in general. Not just adult media, but okay then, Visa. Keep on lying to people that you care about media when you really don't. I still have no idea why Visa and many other payment processors think that policing people of what games that people can or cannot buy is a good idea for them. This next hoopla also talks about a not so good idea. So this artist posted this art addressing the complaints that people were saying, $100 for a sketch? How dare you? You should kill yourself. That does sound like an outrageous price for a sketch, but when I actually look at what the artist was valuing at $100, these are not what I would call a sketch. These are complete drawings that actually do worth $80 for a full body, full color option. I think the artist could have benefited for a rephrase. Instead of sketch, just say drawing, and I don't think the issue will exist. I want you guys to realize that in a market where people are mad at $80 video games that takes years to produce, you are trying to charge $100 for a sketch you did in an hour. Well, someone doesn't understand how art works. First off, sketches do not take an hour to make. My videos may only take at least 8 minutes, but there's a lot of time and effort being put into writing the script, creating the slides, editing, compiling them all together, rendering, scheduling the shorts version. All these things are not done in under an hour. And so are these artist sketches. There are loads of people who can make videos where they ramble for 8 minutes with minimal editing. I'm not one of those people because I like to write and I have standards. So if you value the creative process of any artistic medium, you know for a fact that something like this can't simply be done in under an hour. And even if it can, it wouldn't be good unless you are really talented, which is very rare. Second, video games that are being sold in public, no matter what prices they're set in, are not the same as personal commissions. Video games are also sold commercially in multiple copies to people and can sell thousands, if not millions of copies. Sketches are personal for only one person. Companies can absolutely profit from selling video games for $20, let alone $80, compared to artists who can barely profit from one $100 drawing. It costs nothing to make a digital sketch. Wow, what an insanely reductive take. There's this thing called time and labor. I think you should look them up. You are not entitled to a living wage from a self-employed profession. No one is saying that. We're saying that you shouldn't tell someone to kill themselves just because you don't agree with the price. As you can see from thousands of likes my tweet got, confirmation bias doesn't mean you're right. It is clearly overpriced for art commissioners. Well, let the market decide on that one. And no, you're not the market, you're just one person out of many. Let's move on from not so outrageous artist pieces to the Department of Energy making the dumbest of takes. I can't believe that this is an actual tweet from an actual US department. Wind and solar energy infrastructure is essentially worthless when it's dark outside and the wind is not blowing. Yes, this is an actual tweet from the US Department of Energy. They literally have no idea that batteries exist. Your power banks these days can charge more than one phone. You might not know that there are mega batteries or large energy containers. And even if we don't have batteries or ways to store energy, intermittent renewable energies like solar and wind are still genuinely good energy sources. What are you on about? This leads to Elon Musk saying, hello, I literally built an energy storage system in Australia. That is very funny, not gonna lie. I talk about this hoopla not because I care about the environment or energy and all that, but because I bashed Elon Musk quite a lot on this channel, and sometimes he deserves at least one win. And speaking of a win, depending on how you see mental health, this can either be a win or not a win. So there's this football player named Caleb Williams who has the suicide prevention logo and color painted on his nails. He also had 988 for the 988 suicide and crisis hotline. I don't mind that at all. If he thinks this is a worthy cause to fight for, then he has every right to express that. Some people don't appreciate that, however. Why don't you focus on football, bud? Win games, that's all. I'm pretty sure he's still playing. I could find a masculine way to honor them. Okay, I guess you find nail painting not that particularly masculine, but the message is pretty obvious. It's not like those paint colors were vague and open to interpretation. Nice try, but still gay. Okay, that's your subjective opinion. Can't take a guy who wears wired headphones seriously. Whoa, where did this comment come from? I mean, forget the nails. Wired headphones is the real problem here. What's your problem, dude? What real man paints his nails? Why are you people so obsessed with being a real man? This looks like feminine behavior to me. I don't know what those feminists were talking about when they were talking about fragile masculinity, but now I totally get it. I don't give a damn what is painted on them. You clearly do. Otherwise, you wouldn't make a comment. And that's all for the video today. Here's a cat. Huge thanks to all the wonderful sponsors this week. You're all fantastic. Don't forget to check out my previous videos here. Click the like button, comment, subscribe, join the YouTube membership, leave some tips, just $1 down below. And thanks for watching.